What's up, everybody? Ryan here. Indoor work today. Big blower motor, Trane Air Handler. Let's take a peek here so I can show you what we're getting into. Big motor, gonna spray some coil cleaner on it, put some pan fills on. And want to do my little introduction before we made it inside the store. Forgot to grab my knee pads. All right, got the knee pads. Let's head on in. Oh wow, we're straight into the mall, aren't we? Oh, that's an obnoxious bell. All right, guys, there's our air handler. And as you can hear, the motor is quite loud. Hey, Josh, get this small ladder set up, and then I'll have you pull. I believe one's the duct heater and one is the air handler. I'm just gonna have you pull both, all right? As soon as I give you the word. We're working on top of wire shelves, so it's not gonna be real good on the knees. There he is. Oh yeah, I don't use the knee pads a whole lot, but this is perfect. Definitely something going on with this motor, as you can hear. All right, bro, go ahead and kick them. We're gonna take this door completely off. We're gonna take this off and dig in, see what we gotta do to get this motor out, and inspect the new motor and make sure that we have the correct motor before we do much anything. Right, here we are. There's our motor. And as you can hear, definitely bad. I don't see any grease fittings on it. Wonder why it's so dry. Not my problem. So I'm not sure how we're gonna do this, to be quite honest with you. We'll just have to muscle it in place. It's our only option. Our motor's gold, this one's blue. And trying to unwire that's gonna be fun. Better safe than sorry. I just want to confirm voltage is off, and we are off. We're off. We are off. I'll test all these to ground before I go messing with the wiring on the motor. I just want to confirm that I'm not gonna get lit up. Off. All right, I also want to confirm voltage. 480 is what it reads, but we have a 208 230/460 motor. So I'm just gonna check voltage, make sure we're right, and then I'll hop back up. We'll get this thing out. We don't have a whole lot of slack in the wire, so we'll have to move the electrical box on the new motor. That way we can come in the side with the box connector. And I did confirm there that we have power off, so I'm gonna go ahead and unhook everything. What we'll do, Josh, is get it all wired up for 460 on the ground. That way all we gotta do is wire up 3 wires once we get it in place. Okay. All right, guys, so I think what I'm gonna do is try to remove the 2 bottom bolts that hold the motor in place, the one in the back, and then I'll just leave it being held in place by 1 bolt right here, and the whole motor should shift this way and rest against this bracket here, and then I can get Josh in here to help hold it while I unbolt the last one, and then we can muscle this thing out of here. Look at this guy. You comfortable?
Yep.
As we've removed this panel over here, that way Josh can actually see what the hell's going on. Doesn't have to lay there like Burt Reynolds back in the 70s just to see. What I did here was loosened up the adjustment on the adjustment plate. That way the whole motor fell forward. And that'll allow me to get back behind to get the 2 bolts, because I'm gonna need a 9/16 and a 5/8 to loosen and tighten these bolts. So that's what I did. I just slightly tilted it forward, and then I can get my hand and wrench back there to loosen up those other bolts. So the 2 on the bottom and the top rear is going to get taken out completely, and the whole motor should shift and make it a little easier to try to get this thing out. All right, guys, just as I predicted, 3 out of the 4 are out. This one's loose. It's resting now on this bracket on the bottom. And really the only other thing we need to do is unhook that motor and prevent it from hitting this chilled water coil. That would be not good. Josh, do me a favor, go get the piece of plywood that's in the box that the new motor came in. We're just gonna stick it in there just in case things go haywire. We can at least protect that and not cause a flood. All right, I think that'll work, just in case this motor lets loose on us and goes crazy. We have some kind of protection there. So, I don't know, did we set the camera up for this, Josh, or do we just go for it? Let me get it right to the end of that bolt. All right. Go ahead and take that nut off of that bolt. Oh, that wasn't that bad. Yeah. Get that wire out of there. Okay. All right, guys. So now I'm sitting here on top of this shelving with a motor on my lap. Jeez. We get it up and over and set it right, well, closer to that support in the middle.
Okay.
There we go. So we've got it from here to there. It looked a lot bigger inside the unit, yeah, to be quite honest with you. I'm gonna carry this over, get on the ladder, and I should be able to get it down.
Okay.
Maybe stay put on the bottom. That way I can hand it off to you if I need to. All right, here we are. All right, beautifully done. Looks like the feet are not gonna match, maybe. Let's take a look. Right there, I've got the 2 holes lined up, so we're gonna have to bolt it right through those 2. Looks like the old shaft comes out a little further than the new, but we should be able to line everything up good. There's 2 screws that hold this whole electrical box in place. I can loosen those and flip it all the way around. That way it's the same as the old motor, and we don't have to do a whole lot with the electrical except land it. So I've got it all wired up for high voltage. I flipped the electrical box. That way we can just land our box connector in there, feed it in, wire up L1, L2, L3. I'm also going to take note of what my amp draw is, 4.2 amps for 460. That way I don't have to try and take a picture of it or get my head in there and see what it is once it's already in the unit. Re-lubrication intervals for motors with re-grease capability. New motors that have been stored for a year or more should be re-lubricated. Lubrication is also recommended at table 1 intervals. Can I assume this thing sat for a year? I'm not sure. I may get my grease gun and throw a couple pumps in it. I don't know if this thing's been stored for a year or not, but it has been lubricated. It said re-lubricated. Well, it does say on the box, manufactured in the USA, year 2024. It is now currently 2025. We're practically halfway through the year. It's not giving me a month. I think it'd be safe to say let's get the grease gun give each of these grease fittings one pump, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, so I got the grease gun. We're nice and clean. I'm not gonna overdo it. I'm gonna give it like one pump each. It's probably full of grease already, and it says if it's sat for a year or more, it's been manufactured in 2024. There's 2. There's 2 pumps. I think we're good to go. I think we're good. I've heard that new motors don't need greased, and then I read the instructions on this one. All lubed up. Gonna muscle this thing back up and get it put in place. We're up back on top of the shelving. I'm gonna have Josh come up, help me get it up and over this unistrut, and we'll have this thing back in place in no time. I want to get it up to here. That should work for now. All right, I'm gonna flip this thing around and just get it in place, and then we're gonna get one of the bolts, and I'm gonna hold it in place while Josh threads on that one nut. And once we get that, then we have a pivot point, and we can get the rest of the bolts in place. Oh. Ow. Hold the bolt. You might have to push it through. Okay. Like on this side. Man, that's rough.
Yeah.
Cool. You on?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Well, that's good.
Hopefully.
I should have just had you climb in and hold it in place while I holded it. Well, we've got the bolts in and got the nuts on. We are not completely tight. I'm gonna go ahead and shut the camera off now. I'm gonna tighten all 4 of these up and get it wired, and then get the pulley on and tight with the belt. And I think we're gonna be good to go here shortly. Bolts are tight. I'm gonna push the motor up and get it with a little more accessibility to the electrical and get that wired up. Pretty sure brown is L1, orange is L2, yellow is L3. I'm gonna feed it in. I'm gonna get it wired up that way. And I'm gonna get the pulley and belt on and tight. Grease these blower bearings. We will have Josh kick on the disconnect there quickly just to test rotation. Make sure nothing's vibrating or going crazy or doing anything out of control. And then we will check amp draw, which I'll have to check amp draw at the disconnect, because you gotta have the blower door in place to get a proper amp draw reading, and there's really no other place. This wire, it basically just turns this blower on. Everything else is run through EMS to open the chilled water valve on a whole different system. I got it all wired up. I don't have the L1, L2, L3 taped. I still have them hanging out. I want Josh to go over to the disconnect, kick it on real quick. I just want to check rotation before I button up the electrical. That way, if I have to switch a leg, I can do it now, and it's not going to be that much of a pain in the butt to do. So Josh, get up on the ladder. I want you to just turn it on and be ready to turn it off when I say off. All right, ready. Off. Is in fact going the wrong direction. Just stay put. Let me switch it. All right, let's give this another shot. Go ahead, Josh. All right, you're good. Is in fact going the right direction. Let's get everything put together, taped up, secure our electrical panel, get our belt on. got it all buttoned up. The belt is nice and adjusted. Our adjustment on the motor is good. Pulley is tightened down, greased the blower bearings. Gonna get this panel put in place. Gonna get the other panel put in place. We'll test the amp draw. And I guess we have to spray down the chill water coil with some coil cleaner. I'm not gonna go super crazy. I'm just gonna spray the stuff on there and hit the road. I don't think the mall's even calling for their chilled water right now. Well, the coil's a little dusty. All they sent me was, that's not dirt down there, that's deterioration of the fins. I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference. I'm gonna spray some of this Evap Fresh No Rinse by New Calgon on there and call it a day. All right, all buttoned up. Put a couple Pan pills in there, sprayed a little bit of that New Calgon coil cleaner on there. This coil is literally like 8 inches thick, so it's not even gonna touch it, but that's what was on the quote. That's what I did. Gonna head over to that disconnect, open it up, turn it on, check amp draw. All right, almost done. Now, I believe I have to open this disconnect. Push the mechanism in to get this to kick on so we can check amp draw. Right, 4.2, we're at 2.73, 3.06, and 2.84. I like it. I like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off. I hear things doing stuff. I want to make sure that there's a call for cooling and that the chilled water coil is opening, and confirm that the mall's chill water is operating today because it's like 54 degrees outside, and we'll go from there. And as you can see, our indoor damper is closing and our outdoor damper, wherever it is, I believe it's on top somewhere. I'll have to find it. It should be opening, but it should be before the filters. But oh, it's right there. It's in this pipe, and I can see it. It's opening. You got my light, Josh? Thanks. Oh. Yeah, see it opening back there? So simultaneously as our indoor air dampers close, our outdoor air damper right here opens. And that's exactly what's happening. All right, beautiful van. Oh my God, look at this van. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. If you liked the video, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That'll notify you anytime I got a new video coming out. Leave me a comment, hit like. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.